All right. So my next question for you today is, what's the biggest piece of advice that you would give to aspiring writers?
I would say really to let go of being a perfectionist and knowing that if you I one of the best pieces of advice that was given to me when I started out was don't over edit.
Mm.
And they said because then you'll never be done. And it's so true. And I think with my first book, I probably took it to heart a little too much and I should have edited a little bit more. But I really do. There's even with Fanning the Fame, I kind of sat on it for a while because I kept thinking it wasn't done. There was something that needed to be added to it, and then one day I read it back and I was like, I don't know what I'm waiting on because there's really nothing else, and I just I wasn't feeling confident in myself about it, and that happens a lot as a writer, as and everyone knows that you get inside your head and you think that it could always be better. And sure, it probably could, but it's becomes like a war between, okay, it needs to be super perfect, which will take 20 years to get out there, or it's really good, and you feel good about it, and you need to let go of it. It's You're never going to be a perfect writer. There's always going to be something that can be edited, and that's why you hire an editor to look over it. And usually you'll find that, like, oh, I was being way too hard on myself. And I feel like once you take away you take away the fun of being a writer when you start to worry about, oh, what's everyone going to think about this, or and then you wind up not writing what you really want to write because you're so in your head and worrying about what other people are going to think, or that maybe this sentence isn't the best, and you're agonizing over it and you're not actually getting your story out there. So I always say, if it's not fun, you're doing something wrong. You should enjoy writing, and you should do it for you and how it makes you feel inside, and not don't stress over what everyone else is going to think of it.
Yeah, I think that's really great advice too, especially as somebody who I always call myself a recovering perfectionist.
Hmm.
Because as I'm sure you probably have heard at some point, like perfectionism is something that people usually praise or like it's a good thing. And so we
Hmm.
kind of internalize that. And especially for writers who a lot of us are more sensitive um, to maybe the opinions of others or like our own feelings, it's really hard to get past that. So I think definitely that was the best advice somebody gave me
Yeah.
also, is to just let it go into the world. Like, do your best, but also know that your best is enough.
Yes.
So,
Yeah. I think that, and there's always room to grow and improve, and you're always going to look back on something and either say, oh, I could have done that a little bit better, or you might look back on it and be like, oh, that is a lot better than I remembered it. But that's the whole point of the journey of being a writer. You're never gonna 100% think that something you wrote is perfect, but you might surprise yourself and be really proud of something, and you should be proud of it, whether like no matter what, you wrote something and you put it out there, and that's more than a lot of other people will do because they're too scared. So you just need to have the courage to do it.